Greetings everyone, welcome to the first video of the series by Process-Geekoid. Today we'll be going over the SDLC Overview and its importance for the PMP exam. So first of all, I'd like to go over some background about myself and the SDLC Overview broken down and the importance of it to understand it for the PMP exam. And feel free to leave any questions and please subscribe to my channel, like and comment. So some background about myself is I have passed the PMP exam on the first try, and this is based off of the PMBOK 5 edition. And I have a very strong science background. I did my bachelor's in biology, pre-medicine, and I did my MBA in healthcare management. And I have very strong quantitative skills, and I would create future videos explaining all the concepts in the PMP exam, the formulas, and how to think about them. I've always loved to help others reach their goals, and this passion has stemmed from tutoring in my undergraduate studies when I was in school. So if you look here, the SDLC, the System Development Lifecycle or Software Development Lifecycle, is very prevalent in the IT industry nowadays. And if you look at this, if we break it down, the first thing that happens is initiation. So initiation is where you're about to start the project, you're trying to figure out what you want to do, get buy-in from your stakeholders after doing thorough market research, and try to figure out the business case. Business case is very crucial. You must figure out why you're doing the project. Otherwise, you're not going to get any buy-in from your stakeholders, such as your sponsor, the individual who is giving the green, the dough to do your project. You will not have buy-in. So initiation is crucial. You must get your project charter signed off. And that next step after getting sign off from your stakeholders and your project charter has been approved is you must plan what you are going to be doing. So for each of the knowledge areas. Now we'll get into all of that for the PMP exam in a future video, but you need to plan out how much time it's going to take, how much the project is going to cost, who is it going to be done for, why are you doing it, how many resources do you need, such as physical capital, human capital, the resources, financial resources, etc. Then you need to focus on the scope. What are you trying to deliver, such as a car, a software, etc. So you either deliver, so a project's purpose here is to deliver either a product, service, or result as outlined in the PMBOK guide, 5th edition. So moving along, after planning, you must analyze, and actually as part of the PMBOK guide, the analysis and collecting requirements and elicitation by the analyst team falls under planning. So you would need to get the requirements, which falls under planning, and then you would go into the execution phase where the development team is going to take the prototypes designed from planning and use those requirements and prototypes and develop using code or some other means to create the product, service, or result. And that falls under the implementation phase or execution phase in project management. Now, most of your resources are going to be spent in the execution phase. And as a result, you need to make sure that whatever you have planned and gotten sign off on is actually being done. Now, that's where testing and validating scope come in place. Validating scope is a process in the project management lifecycle. Don't get confused with the SDLC here, but this is a tie-in to the project lifecycle. So you must validate scope, and all of these steps here that I'm highlighting, that I'm pointing on, unit testing, integration testing, user acceptance testing, they are all part of the validate scope process. Essentially what that means is you're trying to figure out, yes, this is what we have delivered based on the requirements that have been spelled out, that we have agreed upon. And if those things have not been delivered through testing, we have to go back to the drawing board and go back to the project planning or product planning, whichever one you're trying to actually deliver, and analyze and figure out if the requirements have to be tweaked. And then we go through the whole cycle again of developing and then testing. And once the planning, execution, development, and testing has been done several times, this is going to be happening in iterations. And once that is done and testing has been approved and the customer likes it, then and then only will you go into production. And then production is then taken off by the actual development team, implementation, and then it will be handed off to the customer and go live. So it is very critical that the planning, the requirements gathering, the design, development, and the testing is all done through its entirety. Until that is done, you cannot go live. So that is the importance of the SDLC in the project management guide. So if you look here at the bottom left-hand corner of this slide, it will show you the 3 different environments, typically in the IT realm, where stuff is being done. So after the requirements have been gathered, you will be going into the development phase. The developers will create based on the specs that the analysts have been presented. And then you go into testing, which can come into 3 modes as we see here: unit testing, integration testing, and user acceptance testing, or UAT. UAT is a critical tool used in validate scope process, which we will get into later. And then once the testing has been approved by the customer and the customer likes it, then and then only will you go into production, because there's no point in going to production unless the customer likes it. So as a result, we need to go through this process into its entirety until you deliver. So please feel free to view this slide to its entirety, and thank you for watching, and please subscribe, like, and comment to this video. I look forward to educating more people, and stay tuned. Thank you.